Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing good today. So my name is Savitri Malla, and I'd like to present the webinar on the topic Develop Operational Plan. And the unit code is BSP MGT 517. The topic is, the unit name is Manage Operational Plan, and this is session 1. So end of this presentation, so you should be able to develop an operational plan in consultation with relevant stakeholders. You should be also able to develop KPIs to measure organizational performances, develop proposal for resourcing, integrate consultative processes, obtain approval and buy-in, develop and implement contingency plan. So on top of that, you would also be able to know how to resource analyze and document resources requirement and develop an operational plan in consultation with relevant personnel, colleagues, and specialist resource managers. Ensure details of the operational plan include the development of key performance indicators to measure organization's performance, ensures the development and presentation of proposals for resources requirement is supported by a variety of information sources and seek specialist advice as required. Also, develop and or implement consultation processes as an integral part of the operational planning process. Obtain proposal for plan from relevant parties and ensure understanding among work teams involved. The last one is develop and implement contingency plans at appropriate stages of planning and operational planning. Okay. So first of all, analyze business operation. So what do you know before you start your business or operational plan? What do you need to know? 100% you need to know where you're going, your vision of the company, isn't it? So manager, supervisor, and team leaders use their management and strategies, leadership skills to prepare, implement, and monitor operational plan. And awareness of their organization strategies and business plans enables them to incorporate into their operational plan the goals and the tasks that turn the organization's vision, mission, and the strategies objectives into the reality. So for example, an organization's vision statement states that the organization wants to be and gives its employees and other stakeholders something to aim for. For example, I'm giving you want to become the largest supplier of the petroleum products in Australia. Why not? Yeah, that should be a vision. So you should break those vision into the small mission, into the action plan, and then you'll carry on. To be a center of excellence, in revitalization services for Australians, to play a significant role in combating climate change in our community by embedding sustainability practices throughout all daily corporate activities. These were some example of the vision of your company. So cascading plans would be changed into the company's mission, and then you'll break out into the organization business plan, strategies, goals, overall operational plan, and also the departmental operational plan. So types of operational plan could be the production and manufacturing, human resources, processes, distribution, location, and then facilities as well. And the last one is equipment. These are, so you have your vision ready to go, you have your company's mission, and you have to break those company's mission into the small strategies, goal, small action, and those actions are in different distribution, different department. It could be in a human resources department, it could be in a processes department, it could be in a manufacturing department, distribution department, and even in a equipment department. Okay. So targets and performance measures. So how do we actually target and measure the performance of the special plan? You always should target the SMART goal. Okay, SMART goal. So what is SMART? Definitely should be specific, measurable, agreed, and realistic. The last one is the time specific. You should have a deadline for that as well. Performance measures may be categorized as output or operational, for example, sales, revenue, unit produced. Input or manager, example, percentage of completed induction, number of completed performance reviews. those are the measures, performance measures you will always target, and make sure they are really specific, measurable, accurate, and realistic. Should be also done in a timely manner. All right. So the thing when you um, planning your operational plan, okay, you need to develop a consultative process as well. So what does it mean? So personal, you will have to talk with the people, you will have to consult. Okay, without the consultation, no plan will be successful. You need to share your information, you need to share your vision, whatever the processes you have come up with. So personal, you may need to consult in this process would be colleagues and special resources manager, work, health and safety committees and other people with the specialist responsibilities, managers and supervisors, other employees, people from a wide range of social, cultural and ethnic background, and the people with a range of physical and mental abilities. So it means that you will talk with a specialist. Okay, could be the head of the department, could be on the HR community, HR, work, health and safety communities and personal. So without this consultation, you will not be able to plan everything. You need to go everything according to the plan, which is comply, which is achievable as well. For example, when I would say, give an example, a lack of consultation fails to take advantage of all available knowledge and expertise, makes people feel felt out, and create negativity towards the emerging plan, and damages the chances of successful implementation. So to damage, why do you do that? So that's why talk with the people, um, and now map stakeholders. So how do you map your stakeholders? You need to understand who are your stakeholders. Okay, you need to understand what they need, and you need to also understand how much power and influence they may have over operations. Methods to manage and communicate with them. So it could be, look, are you really happy? You keeping your stakeholders really satisfied? Manage closely. You can see there is a bar in there: low interest, high power, high, low. Okay, so monitor, how is the monitor? Are you maximum effort? You don't have to really do much about it. Keep informed. And so these are some information, keeping your stakeholders on the row and keeping everyone happy at the same time. So the information could be supervisor and manager, they should also be able to position themselves. Okay, and the managers can ensure their operation plans and activities in their areas of operation are undertaken in accordance with the organization requirement by referring to it as they develop the operation plan and identify resource requirement with the help of the stakeholders. It could be the suppliers. Are you keeping your suppliers really happy? Are you keeping your customers really happy? um, in that case, your business plan is, or your operation plan is working really well. So once you have everything done, you're mapping your stakeholders, then next thing you should do is document and propose resource requirement. Yeah, you need to resource requirement. It means that you need some requirement for your plan, isn't it? Because you got your operational plan going on. So to develop an effective proposal, you must first identify gaps, resource options, consider policies and procedures, consider cost versus benefits. So it means that um, what you need to do. Yeah. While there is no set rule for defining resource requirement or how managers should record them, managers should check whether their organization has any requirement for content and format. Documentation should provide enough information to identify all the requirements. Versions should be controlled with dates and the version numbers identified clearly to avoid confusion. Present present proposal for resource requirement in line with the operational planning processes and in accordance with the standard operating procedures. You need to always have the standard operating procedure. If you have planned something, you should have the procedure as well, isn't it? Once items have been documented and identified on the work breakdown structure, an estimate can be made of the time and the cost for each item. The cost components for a conference are identified, in the different form as well. Yes, and any activity has a beginning and the end. So it is important to document while what happening, what will happen during all those before or after activities, and those documentations should be very clear as well, and need to have the cost, how much it will cost for your particular resources, and what is the benefits out of that resources. And I can also give you an example of how will you differentiate those resources availability. So there are resources, could be financial resources, physical resources, human resources, okay. And the second thing, implement operational plan. You need to have an operational plan. You know what kind of resources you are going to use it. Now you have to start making a plan. So those plans can include action plans, Gantt charts, which is very popular nowadays, and then PERT diagrams, okay, PERT, PERT diagram. So implementation plan generally include objectives taken from or directly related to operation plan, actions and orders of actions, okay, so which is workflow plan, day-to-day work operation plan, from 9 to 5 p.m. who is going to do what, okay. And you also need to allocate the positions, which kind of human resources who will do what as well, and timelines for stay consistent with operational objectives as well. Dependencies indicating what steps must wait for the completion of the previous step as well. Resources including all financial, physical, human resources required, accountabilities that clearly show that who is responsible for completing steps or sub yeah. So, and then okay, we are coming back to the manage risk and develop contingency plan, manage risk and plan for contingencies. Depending on organization context and the particular risk identified, your contingencies planning may include strategies such as consultation with organization stakeholders to encourage acceptance of and compliance with operational plan and objectives, develop mechanism to provide feedback to the work team in relation to outcomes of consultation, hold meetings, interviews, brainstorming sessions, email, intranet communications, newsletters, or other processes and devices to ensure that all employees have the opportunity to contribute to team and individual operation plan, contracting out or outstanding human resources and other functions or tasks, diversification of operational plan, and then the main outcomes of the plan, funding cheaper or lower quality raw materials and consumables, and increasing sales or production. That's the main part. You need to always, if you're in the business, you always need to make sure that the plan is it's working well, and also the revenues and then production and the sales are always increasing day by day. Recycling and reusing materials, developing alternative means of procurement of required materials, equipment and stocks, rental, hire, purchase, sales on the consignment, etc. So talking about the restructuring of organization to reduce labor cost, it means sometimes you might need to reduce the cost of the labor, means the human resources has to be cut down if your business is not doing really well. Adjust the roster. That is also that should also be in the contingency plan, and always seeking further funding, deploying risk identification, assessment, and management processes. Deploy your cost. Actually, always need to reduce the cost and reduce the wastage, stock uses, and everything should be reduced day by day. And succession planning, so always need to have a good planning. If you want to do a good in your business, you have to have a plan. And the final one I would say is to consider the following example as a multi-strategic contingency plan. That was the example, and I would give a little bit more example. For example, any type of work, your potential hazard could be sun-related hazard. Okay, so what could be the contingency plan? You will be follow on like sun policy. You should be using the sunscreen, skin cancers. I mean, keeping your sun exposure list. And for the people who are working in the hospitality industry, using the proper PPE for personal protective equipment, and apply sunscreen in like the people who are working in the construction in the outdoor, and hearing protection, the people who are working in a big distribution or in the heavy noisy places. And injury to the public, for example, they should be ensured that control and barriers are installed and maintained. And traffic, for example, they should also ensure the environmental controls are installed and maintained as well, keeping the environmental damage to the minimum. Okay, so here we go. So that's the end of our that's the end of our session. So now then what is the next step? So you should know now how to complete the self-paced activity learning activities in session 1 of student workbook. Please read section 2 of your student workbook, and you should be able to begin and start and complete the assessment task 1. And I hope you got some value out of this presentation. I will see you in the next presentation. Thank you so much for listening to me. See you in the next video.